in the mood. You make it jiggle and bounce. All eyes on you. You're in the middle of the dance. So when you kick off your shoe, you make it wiggle and bounce. Bounce.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Flow can make the season even merrier. Switch to a Flow prepaid combo plan and we'll give you a 30-day plan absolutely free. That's a whole month on us. 36 gigabytes of data, unlimited calls and texts, plus all the social media and WhatsApp you need to share every festive moment. Plus, spin the wheel for even more prizes. Switch to Flow prepaid today and get your next combo on the house. Sign up in-store today or visit online at discoverflow.co. We keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And good morning, SVG. And let me officially say Happy New Year to all. All right. I think we tend to say Happy New Year until maybe the 31st of January. So Happy New Year to everyone. And yes, I am back. Unfortunately, Maka is unwell this morning. So I am riding solo, I believe, until 8 when Doc comes in. All right. And I trust that everybody had a great Christmas season. I trust that the new year has been going well so far, that it hasn't been too challenging. Although I will admit, I already feel like we're in April, right? Because it's just been one day that rolled into another. And yeah, it doesn't feel brand new in any way to me, but such is life, right? And the good thing about it is that I have life. So once I have life, that there are always new opportunities that I can expect. All right. So, yep. All right. So while I say good morning to Joshua, of course, I'm going to also say good morning to Yulan. Yulan, I send my love right back at you. All righty. So before we begin officially, before I begin this commentary segment, I need to say a special, extra special good morning to Anita. No, I met Anita for the very first time on a Saturday. She had a little social by her. And it's, you know what I really do enjoy? I love when it is that I'm able to meet persons who are listening, who are avid listeners to the program for the very first time. Whether it is that you introduce yourself to me, or in the case of Anita, she had a little social. So she invited, Diana and myself and some other persons were there. All right. So Anita, it was truly, truly great to hear from you. I know that when we first started, Ari and myself, when we first started, that you were one of those persons who are always listening, always encouraging us, always being interactive and everything. So to meet you in person, and you couldn't come all the way from Canada and not see you, right? So I'm truly happy to have met you. And in that same vein, let me say shout out to Donette. Your food was great. Thank you very much for that. So good morning to Donette, and also good morning to Scotty. All right. So yeah, the new year did start off on a good footing right there in terms of the listenership, or persons who listen to WEFM, who have I encountered and who I can truly say have become friends of mine. All right, so we know how it goes with the new year. Is it new year, new you? Who it is you're letting go of? Who it is you're saying you're not forwarding with anymore? Is it a new year and a new you? Is that something that you have put into effect? Now, I personally don't necessarily agree with resolutions in the sense where at the start of each new year that you say that these are the resolutions that you're going to make. I think a resolution can be made at any point in the year, because a year doesn't have to be from January 1st. All right. But what are your personal resolutions? Do you have any? Have you decided maybe, I want to change this, or have you decided to set a particular goal for yourself for this year, right? So if you have, you can let me know. I want to be in your business. So you could always hit me up at 457-9997 to let me know what are your personal goals. And you know what? By extension, it doesn't even just have to be your personal goals, although that would be great, but also to let us know what might be your goals for the country or even the world, because we see how things have already started. All right. Are we going to get into that a little bit? But if you want to be in my business, all right, so I could start the ball rolling in terms of what are my personal goals. Now, my personal goal, one of them is, of course, to have continued growth within my own business. But I also feel like a little bit stagnant where it comes to education-wise. So I'm going to try my very best to maybe do some courses on Coursera. That's this online free education platform. So I want to try there to see how I'm able to juggle and then maybe do a different type of certificate program. But yeah, sometimes, when you get to a particular level, you kind of feel stagnant in your learning. And I think that's where I've gotten to. So I want to be able to do that, right? Now, my goal for the country, though, is that I really and truly would like for us to become a lot more peaceful, a lot more tolerant of each other. I think we've gone down the road of being a little bit too, what's the word? We're not as forgiving and we're not as understanding, all right? And we're also very quick to jump to conclusions, all right? So one of my goals is that persons would be a lot more critical in their thinking. And another thing as well, too, I would like for persons, where possible. Now, I know that everybody's situation is going to be different. Many of us, we have different challenges, different responsibilities, etc. But where possible, if you could try your best in a way to learn to be a little more self-reliant and self-sufficient, right? I know that it's not going to be easy. I know that juggling so many things is difficult, but I do think that there are many of us within society who rely on others, or we have that expectation that others are supposed to help us, and many persons don't take that first initiative. All right, so that is just something that I want to see for us as a society, that we try, we make an effort and that we try. All right, of course, I did indicate the parameters that might hamper some persons in doing that, but let's try to hold back on the excuses and let's try to do our best. All right. All right, so let's get into some other things. So what other things happened on the weekend? Now, the weekend was quite an active one. Let's start locally before we head regionally. So locally, we see that there has been the appointment of a new governor general, and this is esteemed legal counsel Stanley Kendrick John Kissy. All right, so he will be sworn in tomorrow at Government House. All right, so our new Governor General is going to be Stanley, better wise known as Stanley Starkey John. All right, so he is going to be sworn in as the new Governor General for SVG. And a little bit of a shakeup is happening within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All right, so within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and well, let me say by extension, the diaspora unit, because there's also another mention there. There are going to be some changes that are happening. So first up, we see that the current executive director of Invest SVG, Mr. Glenn Beach, that he will be replaced. And other diplomats, or the foreign diplomats, are going to be recalled. So Her Excellency Andrea Bowman, who was, is for now the ambassador of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Republic of China on Taiwan, and she'll be recalled. Senior Lewis, High Commissioner of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the United Kingdom. His Excellency Ellsworth John, Ambassador of St. Vincent and Grenadines to the Republic of Cuba. And Her Excellency Inga Ronda King, Ambassador, Permanent Representative of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the United Nations. Also, we know that this particular individual or this particular post was a topic of discussion for many persons. And there it is in black and white. Mr. Ron D. McIntosh, Consul General, Consulate of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to New York, to the U.S., he will also be recalled. All right. Now, when I read that, I chuckled. And let me explain why I say I chuckled, right? The reason why I chuckled is that for many persons who are NDP supporters, I recognize that many of them were of the opinion as to what was taking the new government so long in terms of changing several of these foreign diplomats, all right? And I just have a message to the supporters of the NDP. And this is the reason why it is that I'm chuckling, is that everything is going to take time, all right? I kind of got the impression that from many persons that they thought as soon as the new government was sworn in, that everybody is going to be replaced instantaneously, all right? And I know that there are some persons who are going to say, well, if they had that expectation of winning, or in that, if they knew that they were going, if they were going to win, if they were that confident that they were going to win, that they should have already had certain persons earmarked for certain positions already. But I think what it is that I'm sensing from a lot from the NDP supporters in particular is that they're expecting that everybody is just going to be changed out one time, right? But there is a process and there is a procedure. And for persons who might have been in political appointed positions, there is going to be, and there should be, that necessary time for transition in terms of that handover from the older person, quote unquote, old person, or the person who was in the position before, to the person who is going to take over and to replace them. All right. So I just have a little bit of word for the NDP supporters out there. Allow the government, I want to use this word, breathe. Allow the new government the opportunity to breathe. They get their bearings together. Of course, yes, there is a supportive staff. There is administrative staff. There are other civil servants who are there to guide them, but allow them the opportunity to breathe so that there can be a smooth and a proper transition from persons who were appointed under the previous government to those who they are going to appoint under this new NDP-led government. All right, so that's just that. All right, and in other news as well, many of you should have awoken on Saturday morning to note that on the 3rd of January, which was Saturday, that the president of Venezuela and his wife, they were both captured, and they are actually going to appear before the Manhattan Federal Court today at noon. They are being charged with narco-terrorism, conspiracy, and cocaine importation conspiracy. All right. So that discussion we are going to get into a little bit more deeper after it. All right. You can let us know what your thoughts are in regards to that particular situation. I will share my thoughts on it after it. All right. So that is what has been happening on the weekend, both here in SVG and regionally. All right. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we are going to be back with you at 7:35 for this morning's Traffic Talk. Remember, it is the Flow Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. All right, so before I head on out, I didn't look at the comments, but let me just read something that I'm seeing here from Ari. So Ari is saying good morning. So he says the best way to avoid victimization is to make sure people are competent. Why remove competent people in non-political positions? All right, so that is just something there from Ari. So Ari, good morning to you and Happy New Year. And with that, we are officially headed on out.
The flavor nice, it's locally made.